UFC fans, get ready, because this isn't just another fight breakdown. This is a psychological deep dive into Khamzat Chimaev, a man whose mindset separates him from the rest of the roster. He doesn't walk into the octagon to compete. He walks in to dominate, to impose, to break opponents mentally before the fight even begins. When he says someone like Sean Strickland has zero chance, it doesn't come off like typical fight promotion. It feels like a statement carved out of pure belief. That belief is built through brutal training camps, relentless pressure, and performances where he has overwhelmed elite competition. In Chimaev's mind, there is no equal ground, only levels, and he sees himself operating far above everyone else. He doesn't view fights as contests. He sees them as hunts. That cold, predator-like mentality is what he carries every time the cage door shuts, and it's what makes him so terrifying. Clip 2. This is the version of Chimaev that took the UFC by storm. Fearless, aggressive, and violently efficient. His confidence doesn't just inspire, it intimidates. It's the kind of confidence that dismisses opponents before the fight even starts, as if they simply don't belong in there with him. Heading into the fight against Gilbert Burns, Chimaev carried that same destructive mindset. There was no talk of game plans or adjustments, just domination. But what unfolded inside the cage was something very different. Burns didn't fold, he fought back, hard. For the first time, Chimaev was dragged into deep waters, forced to adapt, forced to endure. It became a war, not a one-sided showcase. And while Chimaev emerged victorious, that fight revealed something crucial. It showed he's human. He can be hit. He can be tested. And most importantly, he can be pushed to his limits. The aura of invincibility didn't disappear, but it cracked just enough to remind everyone how unforgiving this sport really is. After the Burns fight, everything changed, at least from the outside. The narrative around Chimaev shifted almost overnight. The same fans who once saw him as an unstoppable force began to question him. Critics labeled him overrated, analysts debated whether the hype had gone too far, and suddenly, doubt entered the conversation. That's the reality of MMA. One war can rewrite your entire story. But for a fighter like Chimaev, that doubt doesn't weaken him, it fuels him. Publicly, he remained calm, brushing off criticism like it meant nothing. But internally, that noise likely added a new layer of intensity to his mindset. Fighters at the highest level don't just train physically. They sharpen themselves mentally against doubt, pressure, and expectations. And now, Chimaev isn't just fighting opponents, he's fighting narratives. The hunger to prove people wrong can be just as powerful as the desire to win, and in Chimaev's case, it may have made him even more dangerous than before. Clip 4. This moment perfectly captures Chimaev's raw and unapologetic personality. When asked about fan reactions, his answer was simple: he doesn't care. And that's not arrogance, it's detachment. Emotional detachment is one of the most powerful psychological tools a fighter can have. While others get influenced by crowd energy, media pressure, or public opinion, Chimaev operates in his own space. He doesn't chase approval. He doesn't seek validation. He fights for something deeper, his identity. His family, and the legacy he wants to leave behind. That tunnel vision allows him to block out distractions completely, staying locked in on one objective: domination. It's why his zero-chance statements don't feel like hype, they feel real. Because they come from a mindset untouched by fear or doubt. In a sport where mental cracks can decide outcomes, Chimaev's ability to stay emotionally cold might be his biggest advantage of all. Chimaev's mentality isn't limited to fight night, it shows itself everywhere. His confrontations outside the cage, including intense moments involving Nate Diaz's team, reveal a man who doesn't just accept chaos, he thrives in it. Even when outnumbered, even when tensions rise, he doesn't hesitate, he steps forward. That instinct isn't manufactured for cameras, it's part of who he is. Where most fighters might calculate risk, Chimaev embraces it. That willingness to engage, no matter the situation, reflects a deep-rooted belief in his own dominance. He doesn't avoid pressure, he invites it. And that mindset translates directly into the octagon, where hesitation can cost everything. It reinforces the image he's built, a fighter who genuinely believes he can handle anyone, anywhere, under any circumstances. That combination of fearlessness and conviction doesn't just make him dangerous, it makes him unpredictable. And in MMA, unpredictability is often the most lethal weapon of all.